Money. Joey. 500. Got some goats in the building. Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man, y'all get it. My QB got swag, my wideout is award winning. His fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, by the way, kick things back here. Welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast. The before the Kansas City Chiefs episode. Joey Shakes, what is happening, my man? How are you doing today?
I'm good. It's been today was a boring day of football because the Eagles weren't playing and not really exciting games today, not really competitive games today, but a big one tomorrow night, which is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, it is. House Cat's here, Ebony's here, Kai, Eastside Harold, D. Greg, Tony T. Major, Payne, Jonas, King Youngin. What is going on, everybody? Thank you guys so much for joining us. Sorry about last night. We just couldn't get the thing going. But we wanted to come do this video, do this stream, talk about this game coming up, and now we've seen what kind of happened with the other games around the league. I got to tell you, I streamed the Cowboys game and I streamed the 49ers game. They were horrible. It's the second week in a row that everything that we needed to happen did not happen.
Got to do it ourselves.
Everything. Got to do it ourselves. I thought Dallas looked horrible today, to be honest with you. I thought that the way they played the Carolina Panthers, I thought the best player on the field for the Cowboys were the defensive players for the Panthers. They kept getting penalty after penalty. Dallas doesn't scare me. The Niners, they're not surprising me with the way they're winning. And then you look at the Detroit game. That's the one to me that hurts the most.
Yeah. Because
you were up. Chicago's up 26-14 with 2 minutes and 50-something seconds left. And they got real conservative. It's like first down, they run right up the middle, and they telegraph it. Second down, they telegraph it again. Like, you've got to get first downs, and that's the one that hurts because I remain saying that I think the Detroit Lions are the biggest threat to the Philadelphia Eagles, if anybody is at all. I'm not saying that they're going to catch us, but I'm saying I don't even think they're as good. I don't think they could beat us in Detroit, but they got the easiest schedule. And when you get a loss like that and you have a chance to lose and not get it, it sucks,
Yeah, I mean the Eagles got to take care of business now. All the buzz surrounding this game tomorrow night, and it's really we've only had maybe a couple weeks this year where we've had a perfect week, and at least somebody, it would have been nice if somebody lost today, but it seemed like nothing went in our favor, and we just got to take care of business. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, you got to take care of business. I agree. Kat says, happy early Thanksgiving, guys. Happy early Thanksgiving to you too.
Definitely.
So tomorrow is a huge game. Now, if the Eagles lose, you'll still be in first place, but you'll have a really tight battle with the Detroit Lions. And so it's going to be really an interesting end to the season. But man, as far as tomorrow's game, I mean, it feels like we haven't played in a month. You know what I mean? Like, dude, we haven't played. We just had a bye week, but it feels like it's been like a month. How you feeling going into tomorrow's game?
I'm treating this game like it's a regular season game because I feel like the media is. I made a big rant yesterday, and people were like, "Dude, like, how is this game not important?" I'm like, "Dude, it's important. This game is important when it regards to our record and first number one seed. I get it." But there might be a few Eagles, players that are, some players are taking this personally. I saw like WIP, like Jordan Mailata's taking this personally. Kelce obviously wants to get back at Andy Reid, because Andy Reid has been pretty good against us. So
yeah,
that's the number one thing. And I feel like, just everything surrounding this is from last year's Super Bowl. So I feel like the media is hyping this up to be something that it really shouldn't be. But I think the Eagles got to take this as your 0-1, that, your zero. It's your 0-0 this week, and you got to take that first win of the season. And that's how I'm treating it this week. And, I feel like the Eagles have a big chance the next few weeks. I feel like this game shouldn't be, it'll definitely be a challenge, but to see what this offense does and how these coordinators are doing off a bye week should be interesting.
Well, the thing is like, if you really look at it, you're playing an out-of-conference opponent. So, go Bucks. They're getting back in the game, but
nice.
You're playing an out-of-conference opponent, so it's not going to really affect you in the tiebreaker. It affects win-loss, yes, but on that level, it really isn't as big of a game as some of these other games you got coming. However, from, I think, an emotional standpoint, a mental standpoint, from a revenge standpoint, from a fan standpoint, you want to beat the crap out of this team. You want to get this team back. You know what I mean? You definitely do. Dingbat, ding dong. Thank you for the super chat. He goes, happy Thanksgiving, you dingbat. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, my friend.
You too, man.
Yeah, I think like this is the game where you probably got players who really want to get the Chiefs back. They're not going to come out and say it like the 49ers did, but this is our version of the 49ers when they come to play us, and look, the Eagles win this game. I think they're in a situation where you can't tell me there's not a team in the league that they can't beat. And I think they run the table because I really think that this is the game I have the big question. Like, I think they beat Buffalo. I think they're beating the Niners. I think they're beating Dallas, Seattle, and then they're closing out the Giants twice and Arizona. So I really think that this is the game. If they win this game, I think they can run the table until we sit our guys for health reasons,
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, when it comes down to it, really, it's like I said before, like the coordinators and how different and is this offense going to look a little bit? Are they going to change some things with Cam Jurgens coming back and obviously some Bradley Roby and getting some guys on defense and keeping seeing what they're doing with the matchups. Possibly we'll get into that, but the matchups are definitely important this week. So
exactly. Now, there's a question here. Well, a statement. It does count in tiebreaker because Detroit beat Kansas City in the first game of the season. They did beat them, but that's not the first tiebreaker. The first tiebreaker, it would be head-to-head and then conference. So if you look at the conference, the Eagles are 6-0 in their conference. The Detroit Lions are 5-1. So the Eagles would have the tiebreaker of the Lions because of the better conference record. Now, if they have the same conference record, I think you get to like strength of opponent or common opponents. I want to say it's like 4th or 5th. So it could if you get into that kind of tiebreaker. But in terms of the first tiebreaker, it wouldn't affect the Eagles because it's out of conference.
Right. True.
Green Blaze. Thank you for super chat. Happy Thanksgiving, Joey.
Happy Thanksgiving, Green Blaze. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah, man.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it is right.
The Eagles don't play on Thanksgiving, so that's great. That's great.
I know. I'm telling you, man. Then you have the Giants go out and beat Washington. It's like people are like, well, because the Cowboy fans' logic is like, well, we beat the Giants and Giants beat Washington, therefore we will beat Washington. It's like, dude, that's not how it works in the NFL. Okay, division games, teams play good against each other for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know why the Giants always beat Washington. I don't know why Washington always gives us a hard time, and I don't know why we destroy the Giants all. It's just one of those things. I think Washington is going into Dallas next week. I think they're winning, especially coming off a loss.
Yeah,
So
I was really surprised. I don't know if there's going to be some firings over in Washington. I mean, even with Rivera or something like that was pretty pathetic, honestly. I didn't think the Giants have nothing to lose. When teams have nothing to lose, I mean, they'll go out and ruin teams. I mean, the Washington's actually still in the hunt right now.
yeah.
They're still there, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about a team going in. They're going in on a must win. I mean, it's a must win. They can't. They've got to win the game. So it'll be interesting. But as far as the Eagles go, we are getting some guys back. You're getting Cam Jurgens back, which I think is tremendously important. Roby looks like he's going to be back. I think Quez is back. Who else is coming back, Joey? We got Jordan Davis. Hopefully he's healthy.
Justin Evans, hopefully.
I mean, when Justin Evans plays, he's been decent. So you get these guys back, I think it's important because this game, I mean, the way I see this game, to me, the key on defense is Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. I believe the interior of this line is going to be what's important because, one, they've got to stop the run, okay? The Chiefs run the ball actually fairly well. Two, you need to get pressure up the middle on Mahomes. I think they need to get a push up the middle. So I think, in my opinion, on defense, I think Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter are the keys to this game defensively.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole defensive line. I mean, because last time we faced the Chiefs, we didn't really have much of an edge rush either, so for certain reasons. But Hassan Reddick and Brandon Graham, some of these other guys, Josh Sweat. I mean, they're playing fantastic right now. So I'm really hoping this defensive line can get to him, force him, kind of in the pocket, whatever, and just bring him down and got to catch him. There's going to be probably a few times where he gets away from us. It's probably going to happen at times, but we got to completely shut it down. No joke. So.
Yeah. Jonathan says Justin Evans has been ruled out for Monday. Okay, so Evans, I didn't see that today, so that's good to know. Thank you for updating us on that. Evans is out. I think do you think that with Byard playing the Chiefs and being that they're AFC team, he's seen a lot of Kelce, he's seen a lot of them. Do you think that this is setting him up to kind of feel a little more comfortable being in that defense with us and what his job and what his role and what he's got to do? Could this be a coming out party for Byard as an Eagle?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, there's been rumors about even Byard might. I mean, because I don't know they might have to keep Byard at safety most of the time unless they move him down on Kelce. They could do that. If Kelce's giving us a hard time, really depends on what Bradley Roby does in this game. Like, we got to think about it. Like, Bradley Roby hasn't been here long at all. Like, he has not been here long. So
this is the stupidity of the Cowboys fans. This is what I'm saying. It's like this is their illogical. This is why you guys always get disappointed. Washington's not going to win Thursday on Thanksgiving because they couldn't even beat the Giants' third-string quarterback. So why play the game? Let's not even play. I mean, that logic is so stupid. The Dallas Cowboys for what, 8 weeks were the only team that couldn't beat Arizona. But should every team be able to beat Dallas that beat Arizona? I mean, it's so stupid, dude. I don't get it. The Giants beat Arizona. So Arizona beat Dallas. The Giants beat Arizona. Therefore, the Giants should beat Dallas. That's their logic, how it works. It doesn't work that way, Texas boy. I'm trying to tell you. It's a division game.
And they got beat up by a backup quarterback this year. And the Arizona Cardinals with Dobbs.
Listen, let me tell you, if the Carolina Panthers aren't committing penalties on 3rd and 19. I watched a guy, and I never seen this before. He face masked and horse collared at the same time. I've never seen that before. Like if Carolina played a little cleaner, they might have won. Might have won. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. Drew Witt says, "What's up, guys? Glad to have you back on the Shakedown. Eagles 31-24 defense has to be dominant up front. Yeah, I mean, I think the key is going to be that line. I think that push up the middle, because listen, if you look at the receivers that they have compared to some of the receivers we've played this year, they're not all that impressive. But what scares me about the Chiefs is, of course, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has an ability to keep plays alive and to make something out of nothing. You got to be very worried about him. And I really think that push up the middle, stopping the run and getting a push up the middle is what you need against him.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm afraid of, because every time quarterbacks get some type of, they keep the plays going like that, I feel like our secondary breaks down as soon as that happens. That's a big play waiting to happen every single time. Every time the quarterback extends the play, I feel like it's always a big play waiting to happen. He can get it done, and that's what makes me a little nervous going into this game.
Do you feel like that like guys like Reddick and those guys are going to have, and Josh Sweat, you think they're going to have a huge chip on their shoulder this game? Do you feel like they feel like, because of the way what happened and feeling like the floor, the surface was so slippery, you think that they want to go out there and prove something?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's probably some guys in the locker room that just take it as like, a regular season game, and there's some guys that, obviously a lot of guys were on this roster during that Super Bowl, and they know what it was like, and we know what the wet field and everything that was going on, and Reddick talked about it. Everybody talked about it, and this is definitely a marked game for some players, and I think defensive line definitely has a chip on their shoulder going to this game, no doubt.
Yeah, I definitely do too. Chris Scott says, I see our defense line having a big game, not sack-wise, but a lot of pressure and 3 sacks. I think the pressure is good, because obviously the biggest weapon offensively is going to be Travis Kelce in the passing game. But what people got to remember, last year in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs ran well against us. Pacheco was getting like 8 yards a carry. It'd be like 8 yards a carry, 9 yards a carry, 10 yards. Like if you don't stop the run of the Chiefs, we're going to have problems all day. You have to stop that run first and foremost, in my opinion. And then you have to try to limit. I don't know that you can stop and shut down Mahomes, but limit his big plays.
Right.
Skidmarsh, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate it. He goes, look at my thumbnail. I liked it. The Eagles now know that tomorrow's game is a must-win to keep them on top. Oh, my gosh. Is that Dak Prescott bending the knees?
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be really fascinating to see. And the Chiefs, they got a good offensive line. I think they've allowed the fewest sacks in the league. They're pretty good run offensive. They have a good rushing game. So the Eagles have their work cut out for them. And like I said, if Patrick Mahomes is able to improvise, able to roll out, to get outside the pot, he's going to kill you.
Just think about it too. I think Bieniemy leaving was definitely a huge loss for their offense. I mean, they don't look the same as they did last year. Obviously, no one looks the same as they do. We don't look the same as we do last year. A lot of teams don't. But because they've had, their defensive coordinator's been in the building for 5 years, since like 2019. So, I mean, when you keep coaches like that, you could stay consistent every year. When you change coaches, that's why with the Eagles, like getting 2 new coordinators being 8-1 run right now, it's just crazy. So.
Yep. Toyville says Mahomes is a tough quarterback to sack because he has good pocket awareness. He does.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely does. And I don't know how many times you're going to actually sack him, but if you can force him to have to get rid of the ball, even if you could disrupt him with the push up the middle, I think it'll play into your hands. You talk about a lot of weeks where, you bend, don't break. This is a week that you don't want. You want to limit them to touchdowns, obviously. If you can force them to kick field goals, it would be huge. I have a feeling, like I really feel like that Hassan Reddick's going off tomorrow, dude. I just got this feeling that Hassan Reddick is going to go off.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about? I guess this is Nakobe Dean, of course, is not going to be there. How are you feeling about the linebacking situation going into this game?
I mean, I know we tried to get Anthony Barr. I know we didn't talk about that. I know they tried to get depth, some veteran depth at least, and maybe some quality guy that can get some snaps. But I'm fine. I'm really fine with Nicholas Morrow. I'm fine with Zach Cunningham. I think they've been fine. This might not be the year where we have to win with Nakobe Dean starting out there. It's unfortunate. He's already been on IR 2 times. There's not much else I could really say about it. It's just one of those situations where he can come back in another few weeks and hopefully could stay healthy. We'll see, but I'm fine with it. They tried to upgrade and they couldn't get it done. We had Rashad Evans on our roster. He went to the Cowboys when he left our practice squad. So there's really not much else they could do. I mean, he tried grabbing somebody, he just couldn't get anybody, but I'm fine with it. Got to stay healthy though. So
yeah, and Derek Barnett is not playing for personal reasons.
Is it?
I hope he's okay, but we'll see. And I'm hoping Nolan Smith will get more snaps. I would like to see them use Nolan Smith in not just rushing the passer, but in other situations. I mean, he's so fast. There's got to be ways that they could use him off the ball. I don't know what their plan is for him, but I expect Nolan Smith to be out there getting snaps and reps tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of athleticism. I mean, I'm surprised they really, maybe there'll be something different where they can use him as an extra Sam linebacker. They could definitely do it in coverage.
Yeah.
And you see what he did in preseason, just running people down. I mean, it's crazy how much speed he has.
No, it is. It definitely is. Kelce's the problem. I mean, Kelce to me is like, I think you're going to put Byard on him, right? And let Byard has battled him in the past. Why not put Byard on him? I would love to see the Eagles play more man. I would really love to see them man up a little more, blitz a little more. I just don't know that they'll do it. I don't know that they'll do it.
Even watching the 49ers game, like even watching some of it in the first half, like it was like a single high safety and they played man on defense. The Bucs did. And you give up a play, I mean, for a touchdown to Ayuk so easily. Like, I understand why the Eagles do what they do, but they just played too far off. Like,
that corner kind of took a shot and then his knee gave out. It was kind of weird. Like, the corner fell down. But when you play man-to-man, of course, you risk big plays. You do. And, a guy like Mahomes is such a good passer that he can hit those 40-yard passes downfield, those 25-yard. I mean, he can make those throws that a guy like, let's say you're playing Zach Wilson, you want to challenge him to have to force him to make the big throws. Mahomes can make those throws. So I understand not wanting to play a little more man with him, but I think you have to mix it up. And I think you have to try different things, man. I just don't think you can keep it. Listen, Mahomes has no problem. If you're going to keep your corners 9-10 yards off the field, Mahomes has no problem throwing the ball 2 yards and letting Mahomes will do that all day. He does not care. So you have to mix it up, man. It's going to be interesting to see what the Eagles have adjusted in their defense, what self-scouting that Sean Desai actually did,
I agree.
Reaper, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate it. Stephen Bailey, thank you for the super chat. He goes, Eagles 31-20, baby. Oh my God. That would be
that the underneath. Look, dude, you're so right about that because the underneath throw is going to make me very nervous. And the thing is, like, they have to make the adjustment. Like, if they just stick to what they're doing and just allowing these short passes, we're going to be in trouble.
I mean, they don't have the greatest wide receivers. They'll take what they can get all day, and Mahomes will eat you alive doing that. Mahomes is very patient. He's a great quarterback. The kid's great. So you've got to do some things and take some chances. And you know what? If it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Patrick Mahomes. But I'm not a big believer in the whole bend don't break thing. But this is one of those games where you feel like Mahomes, don't move the ball. But if you can really hold them to field goals, you'll be okay. Tom says, remember the Chiefs don't have the same players as last year, so Philly should take advantage of that. They should. They should. And you got to hope so. But, even with less offensive, weapons, they're still really good. And really, the Chiefs, so we could talk a little bit about their defense versus the Eagles' offense. They've got a pretty good defense, and they got a pretty good secondary. And believe it or not, Spags is not blitzing a lot this year, not nearly as much as normal, which is surprising. But they got a good secondary, man.
Oh, true. I mean, they're going to bring the heat on Hurts, no doubt. And to really go into Jalen Hurts in general, with this injury this week with the right knee. I think it's the right knee. I keep always forgetting. The brace was off this week, and yeah, I mean, is he nearing 100%? I mean, I'm hoping to God that, and I don't know what Brian Johnson's going to do this week. It's like, oh, Hurts is a lot more healthy. Now we're just going to run the crap out of him in this game or something like that,
Yeah. Well, you add that element back into his game. It's going to be interesting. Now, I saw a statistic that said in the second half of the game in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs blitzed the Eagles 40% of the time. 40-something% of the time. Now, I think Jalen Hurts has gotten much better against the blitz. So I don't think that they're necessarily going to do it. But when I look at the Eagles going up against the Chiefs defense, you've got to run the ball. Like this should be a big. I would have Penny ready to go. I'd have 4 backs, and I think you got to run the ball, man. I think this is a run the ball down their throat type of game because the Chiefs aren't that great against the run. And if you're running and you're controlling the clock and you're keeping that offense off the field, I look at it as a win-win.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the main question every week. Is Penny going to play in this game? I don't know. If they start playing him in this game, then I could believe that they're going to play him the rest of the year. But to be honest, dude, like I really want Boston Scott to play too. I really do. I feel like he's another big mismatch when it comes to red zone. And, he's with the size that he has and he could kind of sneak around the line a little bit and can really, he's got the explosiveness is fantastic with him. And I feel like they have to use more of that. Like I'm tired at this point of using Gainwell between the 20s. I think they're making things way too obvious. Short field. It comes down to Brian Johnson's situational football on certain downs. Really, it is. If it's third and short, run the ball again. You have the brotherly shove in your back pocket. You can always use that. But be smart. You don't have to throw a dagger on field when it's second and 2, third and 1. Something like that. You're trying to be sneaky. You're trying to be smart, but don't make it harder for the offense, man. Don't make it harder.
Yeah. Major Pain says, I don't think 500 is aware that he's supposed to go live right now. Huh? Am I not live? Huh? Are we not live? Are we live?
We're live. We're live.
Yeah, we're live. What is? I don't even understand. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But yeah. So I think you got to try to come out and run the ball, and I also think that you're probably going to see Hurts run a lot more. We'll find out how healthy he is. The knee brace is off. He comes out and he starts running. I think that's bad for Kansas City. I really think the Eagles are going to move the ball. I think Devontae Smith's going to have a big game. I think this is set up for Devontae Smith. Big night, dude.
We've been saying this.
Big night.
We've been saying this so much.
No, I really believe it. I really believe that he's set up for a big night. He's going to. They got your boy McDuffie right over there, and
shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. But no, I mean, listen, they got a good secondary. They do. So it's a tough game. I think you have to run the ball.
Yeah.
Will we? We'll see. They'll probably come out and throw 40 times.
Rock
Darter says, I want to see Penny in this game. I think this would be a great game for Penny to come and play.
Yeah. Here's a crazy stat. Like the success rate when Cam Jurgens is in football games, like for the Eagles, it's like they're number one in success rate. I think at 640 something yards rushing with him in. I think without him, they're like 16th success rate with like 300 something yards. It's like almost have. It's kind of crazy. Do you think there's like a limited playbook when Jurgens wasn't playing because we didn't really have the most athletic guards at right guard? Do you think there was some,
I
maybe
don't
it comes
know.
to certain things like
I
that?
don't know, but he was definitely missed. I thought Opeta played really good in that Rams game, but I do think the running game has suffered. So with him back, I mean, I don't know, dude. I could see Swift having a huge game. I just think you've got to go out and run the ball against this team. I do, and you can't turn the ball over. Things like that. This is the best team I believe we're playing all year. I think that after the schedule, there's not anybody we can't beat on the schedule. I think we can even beat this team, but this is going to be our toughest game. It's going to be tough. And they're also, aren't they doing their whole Super Bowl dedication now?
I don't know. I didn't even hear about.
I think they're hanging their banner against us.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I think they're hanging. They waited till the Eagles game.
Wow.
Instead of doing it week 1. So
all right.
Yeah. Dave says 500. Who wins in arm wrestling? You or Mark Holmes? Obviously me. I watched the Stallone movie where over the top. I know I have to do the over the top. I would be. Yeah. Joe says, look out for Jack Straw career game. It would only take 3 catches for 25 yards. But look out. Yeah, that's true. Now that on offense is a loss that, we got to figure out something. What do you think they're going to do in terms of replacing Goedert?
I mean, they can I feel like they could use Stahl. I mean, because Stahl does a lot of the dirty work with the blocking. Calcaterra's been out 2 weeks with a concussion. How much is he going to be involved? I don't know. Albert O is another one we traded for in the offseason. I would like to see what this kid's got. Maybe they have some packages with him. But I think they can compensate for his injury. They can use Julio Jones in that spot if they want like a bigger type receiver, more reliable. I think even using the double back sets a little bit, maybe using DeAndre Swift as a wideout. They could compensate.
Could you imagine the double set? Could you imagine putting 2 running backs? That would be unbelievable.
Yeah, no, this week in practice, like Swift was with the receivers a lot this week. So there could be I liked having when they had Gainwell and Swift out there. I really did like that a lot. But
yeah. Philly D says that was hilarious when Dak threw the game-ending pick against Dallas. They all dropped. Oh, you're probably talking about the Arizona game. Yeah, that was hilarious. Now let me tell you this: if the Eagles win tomorrow, I mean, I'm telling you, it will ruin so many fans, non-Eagle fans, Thanksgiving. The Cowboy fans, the Lion fans, the Niner fans, they're all expecting a loss. If the Eagles win, all 3 of those teams are going to be devastated, and they all have to play on Thursday. So we could literally just ruin all their Thanksgiving. Well, what can they say? Nothing can be said. You go and beat Kansas City. Who can speak? There's no more, oh, you got lucky here, you got lucky there, the ref. There's nothing that they can say. It's over. The Eagles are set up, perfect, winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, look, between the NFC East in general, the Eagles have their string of games right now. Like we're hitting the gauntlet of teams right now, and Dallas is going to have in a few weeks. Right. Dallas is going to have their streak of teams they have to face. Yep. To later at the end of the year where it kind of finishes out. So. The Eagles got to cap some wins right now, and it's a lot. First seed's not going to be as easy anymore. It's Detroit's on our necks right now, and the 49ers are healthy and they're looking good. So
it's the
truth.
Detroit is definitely on. Yeah, the Dallas kind of they're done their easy part. They've got Washington. They think that they're going to breeze through that. I think it's going to be a tough game. They still got to go to Buffalo. They still got to go to Miami. They still got to go. They got to play Seattle. They got to play the Eagles. I think they're in big trouble. But they're not the team I worry about is Detroit because of their schedule. The 49ers, we play the 49ers in a couple weeks. You beat them, then they have 4 losses, and you got the tiebreaker on them. So to me, the team you got to worry about is Detroit, and you just got to go take care of business. It's the best way to do it. You know, this game is huge. It's such a huge game, but it's such a huge game, but it's not. You know, Joe says, I love the double backfield alignment. Yeah, I would love it too. You know, a lot of people, and there's been theories out there that they've been waiting to unleash Penny the second half of the year. Now, they would throw Kansas City totally off if they came out and just started pounding the ball. I think they would throw Kansas City completely off and started using Penny, using Swift. I really do. You know?
Yeah, if they have some plays in their back pocket that or certain players and packages or something like that. I wonder if they have something. I mean, you have to change things up later on. So,
right.
Before you get to the playoffs,
Right.
and obviously once you get into the playoffs, then obviously you have to be a little bit more cautious. But
yeah, Alberto says, "How could you lose to the Jets?" I don't know how a Cowboy fan could even ask that question when you lost to Arizona. Like that's like checkmate. You can't bring up the Jets because you lost to Joey. Get this. Think about this, man. Seriously. Cowboy fans get mad I say this, but this is seriously true. You realize the Cowboys, a playoff team that's supposed to have somewhat of a decent schedule, they have played the three worst teams in the league this year. Okay. And each week they played them, those teams were considered at that time going into the Cowboys game to be the worst team in the league. When they played the Giants, they were the worst team in the league, considered to be. When they played Arizona, Arizona was considered to be the worst in the league. And then today they play Carolina, and they're the worst team in the league. They have literally played the worst team in the league 3 times. 3 times.
6-1 on teams.
They've only played 2 teams over 500, and they've lost both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, where what planet do these people live on? You've beat nobody. And they want to bring up the Jets. You played the Jets at home 6 days after they lost Aaron Rodgers, and they were in turmoil. It's like, my God.
Nobody's looking at it that way, though.
No, it's insane.
Like today's game was just today. I mean, Dak threw under 200. I mean, it's just one of those horrible. Like Dak threw under 200 and everything. You know what I mean? That's it's crazy.
This team dropped literally 2 picks in the 2 interceptions, easy interceptions.
And statistically, it helped them so much. Like statistically, Dallas looks great. And it's gonna the padded stats are gonna look that way. And Micah Parsons is happy today. He can only get his sacks on bad fucking teams at this point. I mean, it's just that's how it is.
They're so overrated.
It's crazy.
Latif says, I wish the Bears had pulled it out against Detroit. That would have helped. Listen, if the Bears would have pulled that out, then no matter what happens, you're still that one game in hand. It would have been monstrous for us. That would have been a great, because that would have been another conference loss too. So they would have had 2 losses in the conference to the Eagles 1. It's just Chicago completely choked that game. Chicago played not to lose that game at the end instead of to finish it,
Right.
Major Paint, thank you for super chat. It goes 500. My screen said waiting for 30 minutes. My bad. Yeah, that's weird. Sometimes YouTube's weird. You have to actually reset,
you got to refresh the page. If you don't,
otherwise,
refresh the page,
it's weird. Edward says, I think we play some 12 personnel with Big O and Julio Jones. There's got to be mismatch somewhere. Thoughts? I think that bringing up both those guys are very interesting, because I think Julio Jones is one of the guys that can really take some slack off of not having Dallas Goedert. And I think how they use him in the role could be big. He could be a guy who has a sneaky good game that nobody's thinking. I think you're definitely right. Big O, I want to see this kid play, man. I want to see what this kid can do.
True.
I think the Eagles will be fine at tight end. I do. And if Calcaterra, we know Calcaterra has some offensive, in terms of being a decent offensive weapon. He can catch and run, dude. He can. So, we'll see.
He's got to get enough time into this offense. He hasn't had any work as a starter. That's really all. He hasn't done enough.
I mean, like in most games, it's just all about the line of scrimmage. You've got to go out and dominate the line of scrimmage. You got good lines going up against each other. I really believe defensively. I really believe Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis are going to be a big impact in this game, and I also think that Cam Jurgens coming back is huge. I think it's huge.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I'll see to what wins. I guess I missed what they were talking about. Jameson Smith says tomorrow will define the next 5 games. I mean, maybe like if they lose, let's say they lose tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna hurt them against the next 2 opponents. I don't think Buffalo's gonna stand a chance the way they're playing, and I think the Eagles are gonna beat the Niners. And I don't know. I feel like if we win tomorrow, I really think the Eagles might run the table, and we might end up just sitting our guys like the last 2 weeks. But I think this is the game, man. You win this game, you can beat everybody.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Joe says facts. Eagles are battle tested. Cowboys are frauds. 27 straight weeks with the best record in the NFL. That doesn't count, I guess. No, it doesn't count unless it's the Cowboys. Like every week they have to have the greatest player in the history. I was listening to Joe Castro's show today before the Cowboys game, and he had the best of enemies or friends, whatever he does with the Cowboy guy. And they were going over which team is better at each position. The guy refused to acknowledge Goedert was a better tight end than Ferguson, and refused to admit the Eagles had a better offensive line. Like, these people just refuse. Like, I don't know what planet they are on. Like, literally, they think they're the best at everything. So, we had the MVP Dak Prescott in a loss. Then you have CeeDee Lamb, who did shit today. He's the greatest player. He's the greatest player last week. And now Bland's got 4 picks for a touchdown. And now he's going to be the greatest corner. He's next Deion Sanders. And we're going to hear it all week on Twitter. It's so friggin' annoying. I'm so tired of it. But when you look at the Eagles and you look at the wins and the way we win, we can win those tough games, man. We can pull them out. And that's why if the Eagles go down early, let's say they go down 10-0 early, you don't panic with this team. There's no panic.
Yeah.
Philly D says, give me one team in all sports that talks about success 30 years ago. The soap opera with Jerry Jones still lives in. I know, it's so true. It's so true. It's funny how rent-free we live in the repetitive ass clowns' heads. I think they're like triggered today because they beat the Panthers and they want it to be impressive or something. I don't know.
They think they're back. They think they have arrived the last 2 weeks. I already knew they were going to win these next 2 games. I already knew it. They're going to win these next 2 games, and that's how it's going to go.
They tried to accuse me of taking the Panthers. I'm like, I literally said in my video, the Panthers would have no chance this game. They're insane. They're insane. I said Washington was going to beat them on Thanksgiving. I still believe it. Detroit seems to always play better on Thanksgiving Day. Dallas always seems to lose recent games. I remember losing the Raiders. They lost to Buffalo. It always seemed like Dallas struggles Thanksgiving. I think Washington's going to beat them. I really do.
Mm.
And if I'm wrong, then they have every right to torture me. Joe says the big dogs in the middle will be the difference, not only tomorrow, but for the rest of the year. Carter and Davis are going to dominate for years. How did they get Carter? Great quote. Yeah. No, it's true. And the thing about it is last year they struggled. The Eagles struggled with Pacheco and that run game. I don't think that's going to be a problem tomorrow. And I think at times if they pick their spots with Mahomes, I think they can make them very one-dimensional. I do. I think they're very beatable, man. Let's see. Feet on Lance says Lions are frauds.
Mm.
I mean, listen, I think the Eagles could go to any city and win in the NFC Championship game. I don't think any of those teams can go into Philly and win in the NFC Championship game.
I mean, frauds or not, we're looking at their schedule. We don't care. We know if they're really not as good as we think they are, but at the same time, we're looking at their schedule and saying between the Eagles' schedule and Detroit's schedule, they have a much easier schedule. I forgot they pace. I don't know who else they got. I know they got the Vikings twice, which will probably help, and they got the Cowboys as well. So we'll see how that goes.
Cowboys are going to get their ass kicked by Detroit. Detroit is going to, listen, we may actually be going, oh my God, if the Dallas Cowboys beat Detroit, we clinch home field. It may be a situation like that. I'm serious. It may be crazy, right? But the thing is if the rules were the same as they were a few years ago, where the top 2 seeds got a bye week, I wouldn't care.
Right.
Because as long as we get a bye week is what I care about. Because they can go into Detroit and beat Detroit. They're better than Detroit. But Detroit's got an easier schedule. And so Detroit is very easily possibly set up to get home field and get that bye week. I want that bye week for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need it. No doubt.
500, you say the Cowboys lose every week. That's not true. The last 2 weeks I took Dallas. So I don't know what you're talking about. You Cowboy fans, you stop making up lies. Don't lie to try to make yourselves look good. Just be honest. We beat nobody. Just say it. We beat nobody yet. We have a decent record, but we've beat nobody yet. And we got some big tests coming. Just say it like that. I don't understand what the big deal is, The Bengals have been more successful than the Cowboys over the past 28 years. It's true. It's true. Y'all ready for tomorrow night showdown? But tonight we got Philly Shakedown. You got Philly Shakedown. Yeah. I'm ready. Here you go. Here's another one. Philly, you said the Panthers would beat us. Prove it. Show me.
You have it clipped. He's got it clipped.
Show me. Yeah. All right. Right here. Send it to me.
Next time, hey, Cole, I love you, dude. Pause. I love you, but when the Eagles beat you and you don't put out a video for a week and a half and disappear and then do a video on the Giants the next week, really shows the type of Cowboy fan you are. So just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Clip it. Play it. Send it. Show me. I know I didn't say it.
Guys are a joke, dude.
I literally said it yesterday. I said there's no chance, huh? What's that?
Nothing.
No.
I'm just bad.
No one said that, bro. He said it's joking and followed up. I don't know who said what. Joking what? I don't know what he's talking about. Julio Jones can be a sleeper due to doubt. I think using Julio Jones and if they can use him effectively, I think it would be big for us. You know what I mean? I think it would be big for us.
Yeah.
I also think you think they'll get Quez back in it. Do you think Quez will come in and maybe take a shot deep to him or something?
Is he active? No, he's not even back. No, he's not even back yet. He's still on IR.
No, right? I thought he was off IR.
Is he off?
I could have sworn I thought he was, but maybe he's not.
I don't know. I'm not sure. That I never checked, actually.
Yeah. The real fist is what if there's a situation where the Cowboys lose against the Lions? They were out of the playoffs, but the Lions get the number 1 seed instead of Eagles. Would you do it? Would I do what? What if a situation where the Cowboys lose against the Lions? They are out of the playoffs, but the Lions get the number 1 seed instead of the Eagles. No, I want the 1 seed. To me, the whole point is to get the number 1 seed and to get the bye week. I don't care if the Cowboys get in the playoffs or not; they'll end up losing anyways. I'd rather have the bye week if it's up to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, run through Philly. I mean, shit, you're unbeatable if you run through Philadelphia. You run through the link, it's unbeatable. No joke.
No, I seriously mean it. I don't think there's a team the Eagles can't go in and beat in their home. But I don't think teams are coming to Philly in January and beating the Eagles in the championship game. I really don't. You know?
True.
William Kaiser says, "500, you may have missed the earlier comment in the car morning. My wrist is still very sore." But no, I did actually read it. You probably didn't hear it. I might have been delayed, but I did read it, and I said that I was glad that you're all right. Sorry about your wrist, and I said I was praying for you. So I did comment on it, and I do hope you're feeling better. I'm glad it wasn't. Gosh, it could have been a lot worse. So just rest up, man. Get healthy. You know what I mean?
Damn right.
Frank says, "What, my dudes? What a sucky day of football." Oh, the last 2 weeks have been like every possible scenario. Think about it. Like, if you're the Chiefs, you got to watch the Bengals lose, the Ravens lose. All those teams lost last week. Then the Bengals wind up losing again, and they lose Burrow, and you haven't played one game, and you've gained on all these teams. Eagles, everybody that they need to lose one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chase Young and Bosa, a big effect against us in Week 13. We'll get there when we get there. Those are great players, but Bosa, what did Bosa do against Lane Johnson last year? Nothing.
No.
I trust the Eagles' offensive line. Is Nolan Smith playing tomorrow? Absolutely. Yeah, he is. Joe Spag says, "I just hope Roby makes a difference in our secondary. That's our biggest issue. Middle always open. Yeah. What do you think? What are your thoughts on getting Roby back?"
Yeah, Roby's good. I mean, it makes a difference in the secondary this way. I mean, you can't keep, putting new guys in for certain packages like Sidney Brown and Eli Ricks. Like, they had to stop that. That's what happened when Roby went out. That was the big difference that we had on putting rotating nickel corners. It's just, that's not the way to do it. But he hasn't played, like, Roby hasn't played here long, hasn't played a lot of games here. So I feel like it's going to come down to what Desai does with the scheme. I mean, you can have the players can come back. We can feel really good about guys coming back and returning, but it's going to come down to the scheme and the adjustments. It's really all on Desai at the end of the day. He's the final piece of the puzzle. So
yeah. He says, "Joey, are you good, brother? You're kind of quiet."
I'm good. It's been a long week this week. It's been a long week this week.
Long week, yeah.
Yeah.
Concerned cafe patron. Now he's copy and pasting. Who's doing that? What's going on out there? What's happening? The Chiefs have a better defense this year, but their offense line has struggled. Philly's pass rush would struggle. I thought they were didn't they give up the fewest sacks?
That's what I thought.
Philly's pass rush will be the key in this game for their defense. The Eagles secondary. I agree. I mean, we talked about earlier. I think specifically Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, that interior pass rush, that interior defensive line, is going to be the factor in this game. I really, really believe that. It's going to be interesting. VP says, at Joey Shakes, "Hey, Joey, just wanted to say, hope your dad is doing better. I'm having a weird feeling that Kevin Byard isn't happy with the side. What do you think?"
Oh, I appreciate it so much. Very, very much. It's been a crazy week this week, but yeah, I don't think there's not enough time for him to he hasn't been here long for him to be upset at Desai. I mean, I wonder if players will start to step, like, that's what I say, like, even when Slay kind of went up to Desai during that game against the Cowboys in the fourth quarter and was tired of seeing CD get those free yards, like the 4 times that Slay was on CeeDee Lamb, he didn't even get a first down, not one first down against Slay. I mean, it's, we asked for some differences and moving some guys around and shadowing Slay. With Roby coming back, that could make the huge difference in shadowing Slay a little bit, depending what they do with depending on who you're facing every week and the receivers and tight ends that they have. So
Right.
I don't think anybody's, if trust me, if you lose the locker room, it's, if this coordinator loses the locker room, it's going to be pretty bad.
Right.
But I don't think that's happened at all. I don't. I think it's very healthy. I think it's a healthy communication. So.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Linda says, "Dallas fans like 55-year-old man going into a dance club winking at 20-year-old girl." Oh my God. That is actually really, really true. Like, that's really, yeah, I agree. I think you're absolutely right. Let me see something here. Yeah, nothing. That's what I thought. That's really an interesting perspective. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. The more experience our defensive backs have, the better. I believe it's the best part is the best. I believe it is the best players in the best scheme. Yeah, I agree. I'm really curious to see what Desai does differently. Like, I just don't believe he can come out and just. You really think he's just going to come out and do the same thing, Joey?
Dude, I believe it. Dude, I think what you're doing in your own brain 500 is like you're trying to expect that this guy is going to make pure adjustments and they're going to. I just don't think I think they'll make adjustments, but I think it's going to be to where like the game is so damn close. And just realize this is another thing that pisses me off. If the Eagles are up by more than a touchdown, a 2-score game, they're going to play conservative. That's what they like to do. They like to just they want the offense to waste more time. They're going to keep everything underneath. Like if the Eagles score more touchdowns, you think they're going to be more aggressive? I mean, it's not in the DNA. It's not there.
I don't know when like if I'm a coach and I'm looking, I'm going, wow, this guy's 15 and 19 and he's got 85% completion percent. We need to do something different. Like,
but
that's how
what's our
record?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's our record? That's if they're winning this way. And I understand we can't stand. We hate this scheme. Me and you hate this scheme. It's not our style of football. I get it, but they're winning this way, and I don't like having these. You're biting your nails these are nail biting games every single week.
Every single one.
It's crazy.
I know. I really believe though that at some point, all those nail biting games, all those close games, all that is going to pay dividends because when the Eagles are in the playoffs and they're in these tight situations, they're not going to panic. Other teams will, but they're not. You know what I mean?
True.
Philly, Dak has been exceptional recently, but you won't admit it. I admit that Hurts is miles better than Dak, but once again, Dak is going to play us. That'll be scary for a whole East.
But
here's what I said about. but here's what I said about Dak. I said, all right, Dak has put up good numbers. He's put up some good numbers. But here's the thing: you've got to when you have a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. Okay, Eagle fans would never. I don't care who it is. If you have a 1st and goal at the 6, and you could have great numbers, if your quarterback goes out and can't get it done and takes a sack like he did in that situation, like Eagle fans would kill him. They would, if that was Jalen Hurts, they would kill him for it. Yet somehow you guys are acting like he's MVP. He put up some good numbers against the Giants. He put up some good numbers even in that Eagles game. But when it came down to being clutch and pulling the game out, dude didn't do it.
Yeah, dude,
he didn't do it.
To the 6, and then to the 6, and then you take a sack, and then yes, you have like 3 penalties. The Cowboys have 3 of their own penalties, which drove them even more back. Like, I swear to God, dude, I'm not even lying. When we punted to the 14-yard line, I already said we lost the game because I really didn't. I did. I swear to God. Because how could I trust this defense? I mean, it was a 3rd and 3, and you throw a bomb to AJ Brown. Like after an 8-yard run by DeAndre Swift, you don't run again, and you have the brotherly shove in your back pocket. Even if you run the ball again, they take Swift out. They put Gainwell in, and defenses know it's going to be a pass. When it's between the 20 and they take Swift out and put Gainwell in, most of the time they're going to pass the ball. I don't know if that's true, but I think it's somewhat true. Yeah. I had us losing that game. As soon as they punted to the 14, it was great, but I said, I don't know how this is going to go. And the whole 4th quarter was like, I swear to God, it was they were right there.
They were inside our 10, I think, 3 times in the 4th quarter. And they couldn't get it done. Now, I'm sorry, but the quarterback always gets more credit and more blame. Just because he goes out and puts good numbers up against the Giants, I want to see. I mean, at like what point with Dak Prescott do they hold him responsible? I've been saying this all year. Like, he's 8 years in the league, and they're talking about him having good statistics against a crappy team. But they don't hold him accountable when you didn't get the job done against the Eagles. He should have won the game. He didn't, and we would kill. Dude, you remember the stuff we killed Carson Wentz for? I mean, you know, we used to kill Carson Wentz because he didn't see Wendell Smallwood wide open at the 1 yard line, and he tried to throw in there in the middle to Ertz, and it was incomplete. We're killing him because he didn't see a guy. Yet Dak Prescott loses a game to a guy on one leg, and he's an MVP. I'm supposed to say he's an MVP candidate? I don't understand, you know, and I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but he's not what they act like he is.
No, but
he hasn't showed it.
He's not showing up at the most important moment. Like, the regular season's great and all, but like, where's he showing up in the most important moment? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, look what Hurts has done within 2 fucking years. Like, it's
right.
It's
exactly.
night and day, dude.
Right. And Renard says, "What did your quarterback do in the Super Bowl? He lost." The thing with our quarterback in the Super Bowl, you know, many people thought he was the MVP in a loss. That he played so well in a loss that he should have still been the MVP. Jalen Hurts was not the issue in the Super Bowl. He didn't come up small. Jalen Hurts came up large, big in the Super Bowl, bigly. All right. There's a big difference. Pause is right. But there's a big difference from what you get out of Hurts and what you get out of Dak Prescott. And I'll say this. I don't believe Dak Prescott can do what Jalen Hurts did in that game they played. The third quarter, where he goes in the half, he's hurt. Come out in the third quarter to what Jalen Hurts did, put the Eagles on his back. The Eagles decided that they were going to get physical with Dallas, and Dallas couldn't keep up. And all of a sudden it went from what? 17-14 to 28-17. I don't believe Dak Prescott can put his team on the back like that.
And what's making them look?
Does it in the playoffs? I don't believe it.
And what's making them look worse is every time the Cowboys lose a damn game, it's the excuses are just insane. It's not even just by the fans, but the leadership of your players and going on these podcasts and like there's no accountability towards them. It's like you know, the Cowboys had 10 like it was 10 penalties on, you know, each side. Like it was, you know what I mean? And we gave that game away. It was in their hands. Like we literally went from the 14 to the 50 in one penalty. I mean, just one penalty.
Two penalties that drive put them in a perfect spot, Joey.
Yeah.
First and goal at the 6. And he takes a sack. You can't take a sack. Like they teach those guys. I mean, everybody in the world knows it. I just don't understand the like it's, you know, it's funny because like you can watch like the stream Marks does, the live streams. Like I joke around about it, but it's so funny because one bad player, Dak, comes up short. The first comment is it wasn't on Dak. It wasn't on Dak. It's like the Eagle fans are the complete opposite. We were killing Jalen Hurts after the Jets game.
And this this team hasn't been healthy all year on top of it. And we're not making excuses all year. The Vikings game early in the season, we had a safety out. We had a couple guys in our secondary out. We had a few guys out that game. Like, but even when we talk about Mark Holmes, even when we played the Cowboys, even during Mark Holmes' stream, and he said when Jalen Hurts was kind of limping off the field, and he's like, "Oh, that's how, you know, now you guys are beat up. This is how you guys, you know, now you know what we're going through." And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? We've been hurt. We've been on the injury list all fucking year.
I mean, dude, Micah Parsons is talking about adding more referees to the game of football. The referees already ruin it enough, and he's complaining there needs to be more refs. Like who would say that? I think it's totally crazy. What Cowboy fans got to realize is that Dak Prescott has been in the league long enough that beating the Panthers or playing good against crappy Giants is not good enough. We know he can do that. Everybody knows he can do it. He's got to show that he can win in the playoffs. He can put a team on his back when it matters the most. And 8-9 years in, Dak Prescott still doesn't look like he can do it.
He ranks dead last when trailing. When trailing in games, Dak Prescott is dead last in the league when he's trailing in games. Hurts is number 1 in the league.
Yeah.
It shows, dude. We've been in overtime games. We played in bad weather. We played close to the belt. We haven't even reached our potential yet. This team hasn't even reached its. We haven't peaked at all. People are saying, "Oh, this is where the Eagles are going to start to not. They're going to start their downfall starts now."
Right,
all the time. Dude.
What is Jalen's record like against teams with winning records? Like 12-1, right? Like it's like what I saw Jalen Hurts do in that game versus Dallas. In that third, I'm telling you, in that third quarter, I was so impressed. This guy couldn't even get off the ground. And what I saw him do in that game where he put that team on his back and willed the Eagles to go up and take it to the Dallas Cowboys. I just can't believe that we sat the whole week talking about Dak Prescott being an MVP in a loss when I just witnessed Jalen Hurts do that, what he did.
It's crazy.
It's crazy to me. And Cowboy fans don't hold their quarterback to that standard. Until Dak Prescott can go beat a team in the playoffs or a team with winning records, I don't care if he throws for 800 yards and 8 touchdowns versus the Giants or the Panthers. He's got to do it with teams that matter.
Like all the stats came out. You saw the MVP, like, oh, now he's in the MVP race now because of the stats after the Eagles game. Oh, the 10th time in Dak Prescott's career thrown over 400 yards. Like, who gives a shit? Like, does he want a medal for that? Like, I don't get it, dude.
Yeah. See, he says, what happens to a win is a win. I guess the rules are different when it comes to Eagles being their lesser teams. That you're combining two different subjects altogether. A win is a win is you play who you play as a team and you win a game. That's what matters. What we're saying is if you guys want to come out and tell us that Dak Prescott is on some MVP level and that we're going to hold him to that kind of standard, then no, you have to beat teams that are good. You have to be able to put your team on the back to be able to be compared to the elite quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts. Yes, I said it. You've got to win big games. Dak's got to win games against good teams. A win is a win for your team on a schedule, sure. Cowboys won. That's a win is a win, absolutely. But you're going to hold this guy to an MVP type level, then he's got to beat some teams with winning records.
Can't put you put the game on Dak Prescott. That's where you see, like, that's what I'm saying. Like you put the team on Dak, puts the team on his shoulders. That's when you see the difference. In Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott. 100%.
Hurts is nowhere near the lead. Hurts is the second best quarterback in the National Football League right now.
Yes,
he's number 2. I don't even know. I don't even know what you're talking about. It's absolutely. It's absolutely crazy to me. It really is, and enough. I get so like, I don't know, man. It's true. It really is like the 50-year-old guy at the bar winking at the 20-year-old girl. It really is. It is like that because it's just like I don't know what to say. Like these people. The way I look at it is I think the Cowboy fans have been easy and given excuses to Dak, and it's hurt them. Brooks, David Super Chat goes, Dak hasn't even touched the Super Bowl grass.
Oh, no, wait.
No.
He did. He technically did.
Man of the year.
But...
and then how dare us boo him? No. We'll see. The Eagles just got to take care of their business. Tomorrow you're playing a quarterback on a team that is really good. And if you win that game, nobody can say anything to you. And there's nothing left. To me, the rest of the schedule is all winnable games. And I think tomorrow's a winnable game. What are your predictions for tomorrow anyways? Wait. Let me answer this, Kanto. Okay. So even if Lamar is better, right? Let's say we agree. I don't agree with you, but let's say Lamar was better. So then Jalen Hurts is number 3. So he's a top 3 quarterback in the league. 2, 3, you say tomato, I say tomato. I mean, whatever. Dak Prescott's not in those guys'
and
conversation.
the problem with Hurts and the problem with how the league looks at MVP now is when they look at passing touchdowns and overall touchdowns. I don't think the league respects rushing touchdowns, even though they amount to the same score as a passing touchdown, and that's been a big issue too with the league because the quarterbacks are starting to be more mobile now. As of right now, like there's not many pure pocket quarterbacks left. You really don't see that a lot. It's more mobile guys coming to the league when franchises are looking for that number one QB that they want. And I just feel like it's changing, and I feel like they have to respect it more. Like if Hurts is winning games and finding ways to win and doing all this crazy stuff, like I feel like it's got to be respected. And I feel like he doesn't get respected enough.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think the winner of tomorrow night's game is going to be the clear leader for MVP. I honestly do. Bullet says, why even bother with them Philly when Jerry lets Dak walk to afford his defensive players? They're going to say he wasn't great anyways. Yeah, you're absolutely 100% right. You're 100% right. You're right. And I'm going to ignore him. I'm going to ignore him the rest of the night. So, as far as this game goes, what are your predictions?
I'm going to say 28-24 Eagles. I think it's going to be close. And I think because of the defense, they're going to give up some yards in this game, and I think they'll make adjustments, but not too early. I think they're going to keep it close. I think they'll win, but they'll still be close.
I believe this game is going to come down to the Eagles down 28-27 late fourth quarter with 2 minutes left. And unlike last Super Bowl, the Eagles are going to get that last drive. And I think they're going to go down there, and I think they're going to win on Jake Elliott's leg. And I think I got the Eagles 30-28 and the last-second field goal. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a great game. And I don't think Taylor Swift's going to be there, right?
No, she's
not.
See,
if it's me, I was saying this in my stream, if I'm one of those players, I'm going to be like, hey, yo, Travis, where's your girl? She's with the gardener in Brazil, isn't she? What is she doing that? And I'm going to torture him. I'm going to try to get him off his game so much.
Yeah, because statistically, his stats have been worse when she's not there.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell him, where's she at? What is she doing right now? No, why? Her knees are all banged up. Why? What's wrong with her knee? I don't care, dude. I'm going off. I'm going to have him so pissed off, dude. Nino Brown says, at 500, passer rating when trailing this season hurts 121.4 first. Prescott last at 65.
I told you.
Knock it off, guys. Yeah, it's absolutely the truth. But it's not even like it's the eye test too. Like I said, what I saw with Jalen Hurts in that third quarter, I still think to this day that he didn't get enough respect for that game.
Without his best element to the game, not even present in his running ability, not even there on one knee. It's crazy, dude.
Yep. Seattle lost. That's good. That's good. But yeah, I think the Eagles are going to win. I think it's going to be 30-20. I think it's going to be a close scoring game. Playing in Kansas City is a very hard place to play. But I think the Eagles are going to win, and I think it's going to really set the tone for the second half of the season. I really do. So I got them winning.
True. Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, I love Stroud. I think Stroud is really looking like a stud. That thing, and the reason why I wait a little bit before I can put him up in those high levels is because you got to do it multiple years in a row. So first step, he's way ahead of program. Now I want to see him do it next year. I want to see
second year is the important year.
You know what I mean? I want to see multiple years back to back. You look at Jalen Hurts; he's pulling back to back years, taking your team 8-1 to start the season. Mahomes, look what he does every year. Lamar Jackson, he's already won an MVP and he's having a good year. So these guys are, you have to do it multiple years. But so far, I mean, geez, the kid looks like he's a stud, dude. He looks awesome, So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And the Giants lost today. That's really going to hurt them in getting a quarterback. So that's a good thing, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does hurt.
Yeah, because they want that first. They want to get a quarterback, that first pick. Dude, can you believe Carolina does not have a first-round pick? The Bears own their pick. That's insane, dude. That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who Matt? Thank you for Super Chat. Goes, Dak has one more year, then he's out to another team. And Jerry's going for the shredder, and he'll be a problem for us. Just watch. Laugh out loud. I said it first. Laugh out loud. What? Oh, he's going for Shedeur. Sanders. Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, Shedeur. We'll see. I mean,
I thought he's got 2 years left. I thought he had 2.
But the thing, I thought he had 1 too. I thought he had 1 left. But we'll see how that works out. Those kind of things never seem to work as planned. Remember, Sean Payton was going to be the the coach, and they're going to get this guy to get that. We'll see. I do like Shedeur though. We'll see if Dallas cleans house and then brings him in or something like that.
Yeah, right.
I think they're going to end up redoing Dak's deal, and he's going to be there, and they're going to get another 3-4 years of mediocre football. That's what I think.
When's enough, dude? Like seriously.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that I just don't get is like, at what point? I mean, do you start saying, all right, listen, our quarterback is not getting it done? It was the same thing with Romo at the time. It was like, they did the same thing with Romo, and Romo couldn't win a big game. I mean, Romo literally choked a field goal, to win the game. I mean,
they got to see what they have in Trey Lance as well, because Trey Lance is another option that they, we'll see what happens, but
yeah. We all hate Dak because he's better. No, we don't. I don't even hate Dak. I just think that you guys really you really let him off the hook. We would never, Eagle fans would never do that. We would never allow a guy to just constantly lose for 8 years and just make excuse after excuse for him. It would never happen. Yeah. LB says, don't time out no one. Let the no timing out. This is not Mark Holmes' channel. We do not time people out.
They don't do that, dude.
Let Mark time people out. Let the Cowboy fans talk. Let them talk. You know why? Because there's nothing better when they talk like this and then they lose, like they're going to lose on Thursday, and then the quietness comes in. It's just such a rewarding feeling. Major Pain, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, imagine the Cowgirls having to rely on other teams beating the Eagles because they couldn't do it themselves. That's it. That's what I'm saying. If the Eagles win, when the Eagles win tomorrow, you will ruin all of their whole Thanksgiving. Their whole Thanksgiving will be ruined. Definitely. But I mean, no, man, we're over an hour in. I've been screaming all day. I'm about anything else, man, you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I mean, I'm good, dude. I felt like we haven't had football in like a month. You're right. I felt like it's been like I felt very empty these past 2 weeks. But finally getting a game tomorrow, and it should be, like I said, like you said earlier, it should be very entertaining. It should be a really good game, and we're gonna find out, man, what they got prepared for us. It's exciting coming off the bye because you don't know like what what the coaches have done, how much is Jalen Hurts, like how much his running ability is a lot better. I mean, he's still bruised. There's no doubt about it. Like I don't think he's 100% healthy, but I think we'll definitely get. I mean, we needed that bye badly. We so needed
it. I agree. We have 783 people in the chat on both channels. If you guys haven't hit the like, make sure you subscribe. Click the link. Go sub up Joey if you're on my channel. And we think it's going to be a great game tomorrow. I'm thinking of coming on earlier, doing a stream during the day since I'm not working before. So look for that. Otherwise, we'll be streaming. Then post game, it's going to be a big day tomorrow. Big day. So,
yes.
Let's get ready. It's going to be fun.
I'm ready to go.
I just, if they win tomorrow, I just knowing that they've just destroyed all these people's Thanksgivings, all the Cowboy fans, not like because they all think that we're going to get a loss and it's going to get close. Like it would be it's just going to be so demoralizing for them. It really is. It's going to be a wonderful thing.
It's true.
But
it's true.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for all the support. It truly means a lot. We love you. Even the trolls thank you for coming and letting us double moonwalk your asses. We appreciate it. Army's member for 38 months. Thank you so much.
Damn.
Can't wait till tomorrow. Gonna be awesome. Chance of rain during the game. Well, if we run the ball, that ain't gonna be a problem. And thank you so much. 38 months is a long time.
Damn.
That's like that's like a Cowboy player going to jail for usually around 38 months or something like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You just figure when you became a member, there was a Cowboy player probably going to jail that just got released right about now.
Oh, by the way, what was that news on that first round pick, like Eagle player from 30 years ago that got released? Like what was that about?
They had a player and he was, I guess, on drug suspension, and they never removed him. So he was technically on the Eagles for like 30 years. He should get a Super Bowl ring for that, even though he never played a game. I think he should, dude. I'm serious. He was on the roster.
That's
I think
funny.
he should get one. Logan Cruz, David Super Chat goes, I'm going to Eagles game tomorrow.
Enjoy,
it's
dude.
going to be a great environment. You got to tell me how it is, because I know those Kansas City Chiefs fans, they represent. That's a hard place to play. I don't have any issues. I mean, obviously, I hate that they beat us, but that's a good organization. That's a good team. That's a good fan base. It is, So we'll see. But all right, guys. With that, we are going to let you guys go. Thank you so much. We will see you later. Peace.
Peace.
We had one.
Yo, you gotta be motherfucking
You
kidding
got
me.
to be kidding me. We have no time for one more play.
Look at this motherfucker
What are you doing?
running from
What
a.
are you doing?
Get off the field on third down.
What was that bullshit?
That is not right.
Kellen Moore, he's got to be better, man. He wasn't.
Oh, that's some bullshit. What was that? We had enough time for one more
He
play.
had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us.
Way, but, this is just
The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
The brother screwed
it
us.
is, man.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys games.
Yeah, you
The brother
literally.
screwed us. The brother screwed us.
It's going to end the way.
We had the opportunity for one more play.